The 2014 Gaza War, also known as Operation Protective Edge, stands as a stark reminder of the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict and the toll it takes on the people living in the region. This article aims to provide an overview of the events surrounding the war, the factors that led to its escalation, and the consequences it had on both sides. Background and context. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict has deep historical and political roots, with both Israelis and Palestinians claiming rights to the land and aspiring for self-determination. The Gaza Strip, a densely populated coastal territory under the control of Hamas, an Islamist group, has been a focal point of the conflict. Escalation and triggers. The 2014 Gaza war was ignited by a series of events, including the kidnapping and murder of 3 Israeli teenagers in the West Bank, for which Hamas was held responsible, and the subsequent revenge killing of a Palestinian teenager by Israeli extremists. These incidents set off a chain reaction of violence and reprisals, leading to an escalation that quickly spiraled into a full-blown conflict. Operation Protective Edge. On July 8, 2014, Israel launched Operation Protective Edge with the aim of stopping rocket attacks from Gaza and dismantling Hamas infrastructure. The Israeli military conducted airstrikes and artillery bombardments, while Hamas and other Palestinian armed groups fired rockets into Israeli territory. The conflict resulted in a significant loss of life and infrastructure damage on both sides. Humanitarian crisis and civilian casualties. The 2014 Gaza war had a devastating impact on the civilian population, particularly in the densely populated Gaza Strip. The intense bombardment and ground operations led to a high number of civilian casualties, including women and children. Humanitarian infrastructure, such as hospitals, schools, and residential buildings, was heavily damaged or destroyed, exacerbating an already dire situation for the people of Gaza. International response and criticism. The conflict drew international attention and condemnation, with concerns raised about the disproportionate use of force and the impact on civilians. The United Nations and other international organizations called for an immediate ceasefire and highlighted the need for accountability and respect for international humanitarian law. Efforts were made by various actors to broker a ceasefire, resulting in several temporary truces but ultimately failing to achieve a long-term resolution. Long-term implications and challenges. The 2014 Gaza war had significant long-term implications for both Israelis and Palestinians. It further eroded trust between the parties, deepened divisions, and increased the sense of despair among the population. The war also highlighted the urgent need for a political resolution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, as military actions alone cannot bring lasting peace and stability to the region. Reconstruction and reconciliation. Following the ceasefire, the focus shifted towards reconstruction efforts in Gaza and the restoration of essential services. International aid was mobilized to address the urgent humanitarian needs and rebuild the damaged infrastructure. However, the underlying political challenges and unresolved issues continue to hinder progress towards a sustainable solution and lasting peace. The 2014 Gaza war underscored the complex and deeply entrenched nature of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It served as a painful reminder of the toll that such conflicts have on civilian populations and the urgent need for a political resolution. Efforts towards peace and reconciliation remain paramount to prevent further suffering and foster a more stable and prosperous future for both Israelis and Palestinians.